Good morning, everybody. Adopted Zebra here. I do apologize in advance for the video quality and audio background. I am sitting outside a car dealership, which brings a totally different video soon, and getting a vehicle repaired this morning. But while I'm doing that, I thought now would be a good time to update everyone in regards to some of the stuff that's been going on with me, why I have not been posting so much recently. Primarily the big event that happened this weekend that came at quite a shock. Now, many of you know I am a registered nurse, and I just want to start this video by stating I am in no way stating that vaccines are unsafe or ineffective or anything like that. In fact, I am stating the opposite. For the majority of the population, vaccines are perfectly safe, particularly the COVID vaccine. Perfectly safe, perfectly effective. In no way, shape, or form do I not recommend getting it. In fact, I do recommend getting it, and this is primarily why. Because there are select individuals who are at significantly higher risk getting vaccines, who have perhaps had vaccine reactions in the past, and they cannot get vaccinated. So therefore, those of us who are healthy, who are in good medical stability with our chronic conditions, really need to consider getting vaccinated. But that being said, please talk to your doctor. I am not your medical team. I am not your doctor. I cannot advise you whether to get the vaccine, to not get the vaccine, or what vaccine to get. So that brings us to the events of the weekend. Many of you know I am a registered nurse, as I believe I said a minute ago. And I've been a caregiver on and off for an individual who had a stroke a couple years ago. Now, this individual has been stable in their current medical regimen for a couple years. The stroke was severe, did damage half of the body, but they have been stable on their current medical regimen. They also have many pre-existing conditions. They've had a heart attack, and they've also had Agent Orange exposure in the Vietnam War. And for those of you who don't know, Agent Orange is a herbicide that was used in the Vietnam War to clear vegetation, so that way the individuals of Vietnam could not ambush the American soldiers and other soldiers that were there. They like to hide in the bushes and foliage and stuff, and then jump out and attack and then escape. So what America essentially did was say, we're just going to get rid of your hiding places. So they dumped this extensive Agent Orange, a herbicide, to kill all the vegetation in the jungly parts. So that way the Vietnam had nowhere to hide. So that is what Agent Orange is. And Agent Orange has been found to cause many birth defects in individuals, and those who were exposed to the Agent Orange in the Vietnam War have also had numerous chronic health conditions pop up. I do believe heart attacks and strokes and stuff are part of that. Some have lung conditions. Some people who go on to reproduce children, they have children with birth defects. So over the weekend, the Moderna vaccine, the individual that I care for who had Agent Orange exposure, history of heart attack, stroke, etc., he did pass away. And he had his last Moderna vaccine on Friday. It was his second one. He did fine with the first one. No real side effects. For the past month, I guess on and off, he'd been complaining of a headache. And with him, that it's hard to tell. If it was a red flag that something was going on with the vaccine, if it was a red flag that something was going on with just his chronic conditions, hard to say. But he has been stable on his medical regimen for quite a while. So that being said, what had happened was, had the Moderna vaccine on Friday, then on Saturday ended up having a seizure and subsequently passing away. I'm not going to go into any of the extreme details or anything because there's really no point. I mean, the biggest thing is, had a seizure, ended up passing away. Medical examiner, not going to identify medical examiner or anything, but in my point of view, medical examiner did not do the appropriate job. If you look on the vaccination website where you are to report adverse effects, if a death occurs, a medical examiner is supposed to, particularly if it's been so many hours after a vaccine, is supposed to, English today, let me tell you, is supposed to report that to the CDC, which they did not do. They somehow believed that it was not, and it might not have been related to the Moderna vaccine. He had numerous chronic conditions, so please keep that in mind. But did not do their job properly, did not report it to the CDC. So I took it upon myself, being a registered nurse. I went over to the home of the individual and talked with the spouse, got all the information that was needed, and I filed a report with VAERS, or the Vaccine Adverse Effects Reporting System, for those of you who do not know. And I'll try to leave a link in the description about that website. That's where you report any adverse effects that you have for any vaccine. But long story short, I did file that report, and we're waiting to see if we hear anything from the CDC. Don't know if we will or not. Like I said, numerous chronic conditions, so it's going to be very hard to link it to the vaccine, but it's possible that the vaccine exacerbated what was already there, which is hence why I'm putting out this video. I just believe that we need some stronger warning labels on some of these vaccines. Now keep in mind, every medication you take, ibuprofen, Tylenol, blood pressure pills, depression, anxiety pills, any kind of pills, comes with a risk. You get that warning label at the pharmacy that's like 10 miles long that says this pill has the potential to cause all these different side effects, including death. Every single pill at the bottom likely has the label death at the bottom. So keep in mind, everything you put in your body has a risk. So do not take this, like I said, as an anti-vax video, because this is not an anti-vax. In fact, it is the opposite. The only thing I'm stating is I believe that some of these vaccines need stronger warning labels. They need to alert people who have had clotting disorders that perhaps this vaccine is not for them. Perhaps it would be better if they hold off. But that being said, then that brings the responsibility to the community. If you do not have history of these conditions, primarily clotting disorders and other things, it's imperative that you get the vaccine to help other people. Now, I know that's going to bring with it a whole bunch of comments in the comments section. How dare you, this, that, or the other. To each your own. I'm not going to pay attention to this comment section because I know this video is going to be controversial. But, you know, we as a community have a responsibility to keep are individuals who are at higher risk with the vaccine healthy. So the point of this video is to remind everyone, if you are able to get vaccinated, please get vaccinated. Please consider it. Go to your local pharmacy. A lot of them are walk-ins. Go to your doctor's office. Talk to your medical team. Get vaccinated. We have a responsibility to help those with severe chronic conditions. For example, this individual who had history of heart attack, stroke, etc., Agent Orange exposure, a Vietnam veteran, a veteran of our country. We have a responsibility to protect these people. And it's a shame that he had to go out and get the vaccine because only 36% of the people in the county that I live in have gotten the vaccine. 36%. We're never going to be over the pandemic at that rate. Never. Never, never, never. So please, as I stated, if you are able to get the vaccine, get the vaccine. If you are not, please wear a mask and protect yourself, because unfortunately we have people around here who do not believe that the vaccine can help them, and to each their own. I'm not going to sit here and argue with people because it's just a waste of my time, and my time is valuable, your time is valuable, but please consider doing it. Do it for our vets. Protect our vets. Protect those who put their lives on the line for us so they don't have to go through a miserable experience and possibly death, all because of our ignorance, our inability to see the truth, our inability to believe in science, that we all went to school and learned basic science. So please, Do this for our vets. Get vaccinated for our vets. And with that, I will see you in the next video.